Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ridiculous Badger. I know this. I was flipping through the pages, and I noticed that Winter Soldiers and DZG are fighting right now. Let's go in. So let's check this out. Winter Soldiers and DZG. This should be a great match. I realize, I'm sorry, I'm entering it an hour and a half into it. I should have looked ahead of time. I wasn't expecting this. Blah 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 blah. But at any rate. DCG has been picking up a ton of great players this season, and they're looking like that they might even be, up in the running against CAD. So this is slated to be a great match. It looks like DCG already took out one of Winter Soldiers' strongholds, and DCG is up by about 4 billion points, which is not, that's not a big deal. You can get the points. So let's take a look. This is DZG side. They have just a ton of arcs. Wow, they got a ton of arcs. They are fielding, it looks like, based on just a glance, it looks like they're fielding about double the arcs that Winter Soldiers is fielding. It might even be more. It might be 2.5 times. So it looks like Winter Soldiers' left stronghold is already destroyed. They are in the right stronghold as well. 26 minutes on the clock for DZG in the right stronghold. We see some mixed marches in there. So to me, that means that it's been going back and forth. And Winter Soldiers is trying to defend with a couple of big marches, but they are going to have to spend some more attention on it. The big issue, though, right now for Winter Soldiers, of course, is that DZG is in Winter Soldiers' base. It looks like they've been in there for about 11 minutes. Winter Soldiers is sending some pretty big air units in. However, the depth of the defender queue on DCG it would be alarming right now, I think, for Winter Soldiers. 11 minutes into the base battle is not... it's not dire, it's not like we're 45 minutes in. 11 minutes is still not that far in, so Winter Soldiers could turn it around. What Winter Soldiers needs to be doing right now, though, is they need to be sending as many of these arcs that are kind of sitting here with their force field on, those arcs really need to be on the DZG side porting their arcs, because of course if you port the arc, it takes them out of the base. So that's what they need to be doing. And really, you can see DZG they're coming back here and they're disrupting Winter Soldiers. Winter Soldiers needs to be doing the same thing right now. Because on this side, if you look, there's some smaller arcs. A 140 million arc is great, but it's not really going to do much in the face of some of these max lead arcs. So these, anything... for over here, it looks like if you're under basically 250 million or, maybe even 400 million... you should not be sending at the base, and you should be on the enemy side, on the DZG side. So we shall see how this unfolds. Let's see if we can watch any replays. Let's be nice. He just came out with... Good luck to everyone. Oh, come on. We want to watch the Douglas versus Odad fights. So Odad with his big elf, Douglas going at him with with Dragon Slayer. Unfortunately, did not get a proc on that first slot. If Douglas gets a decent proc, then, he could do serious damage. Otherwise, Dragon Slayer doesn't really do that well against Elf. And the issue here is, of course, now Elf is stacking up those curse procs and is stacking up those healing procs. So it's just going to be harder and harder the longer this fight goes on for Douglas to be able to do anything. If he got a proc with the first slot, he would have been set. He would have been golden. He's got a lot of attack. You got to hand it to him. Alright, we don't need to watch the whole thing here. Oh, wow! Maybe we did need to watch the whole thing there. Hold on, let's... Can we see what happened? Oh, wait, let's take a look. Is this Char Char? Char Char versus Odam? Yeah, that's Char Char. I recognize that Yeti deployment. That's how we do it in Seraphim. We throw Yetis in there. Blam. Yeah, not bad, sir. Hopefully you could dodge the hit. Yep. No proc. And he gets sent home. Nice job, Char Char. Doing some damage. Oh, bacon, lettuce, tomato. Oh, he's set up to take some extra damage there. So he's filling out all his slots. That's... I don't know. I don't know why you don't want to go just front row attack com against the attack com. If you go against an attack com, you kind of just want to bust it with one slot and then just put a single unit in the others. Because what you want to do basically is you always want to look at what enemy are you deploying against and what is their capability to damage you. And you want to be able to minimize that capability to damage you. And this is why a lot of the times... let's check out Anubis. So this is why a lot of the times people go... Oh, you can't go wrong with full Rogers. This is a lot of the times why people go just front slots against Plasma. Because if you go front slots and back slots against Plasma, then when Quantum Blast goes off, it hits all your slots. By just going front slots against Plasma, you kind of cut that risk. It's not really cutting it in half because you have less slots that are able to do damage, but it does mitigate it, or minimizes it. So also the same thing, if you go against someone like Dragon Slayer that has even more capability to hit multiple slots because of Awakening and because of the main skill of Dragon Slayer, that you would really want to consider, if you're going toe-to-toe against Dragon Slayer, you would want to consider just going one slot. And then in the other slots, if you want, you could put a single unit. That's if you're just going toe-to-toe. If you're doing a hard counter to Dragon Slayer, of course, you could go front row or all slots. I tend to go like 3 or 4 slots when I like a hard counter against Dragon Slayer. Oh, Win is conceding. They really Winter Soldiers could turn it around. Well, yeah, I guess they were done. It was going to be expensive, and they don't need to turn it around because they're ranked so high. But they could have turned that one around. Well, it looks like, here in World Chat, DZG is saying we could join forces. So maybe they'll work out some kind of deal where... they'll probably work out some kind of deal where if one of them gets knocked out of, like, top 8, they'll join up in the same guild. I wonder why there weren't so many arcs on the Winter Soldier side. This is a great time for American fighters. Looks like some of them are staying on the battlefield and not going through with that surrender order. Well, I guess we don't know if it was an order to surrender. Or people just did. I would imagine it was an order to surrender because so many arcs left the field in such a short period of time. So generally when that happens, somebody on that team says, hey, we're cutting out. Can we go back to some of these? Mr. Mike. Oh wow, DZG is really adding in a lot of people, huh? A lot of people with names. Oh, whatever. We know what happens here. A bullet. Sorry, dude. Old meta. You see this one? No, this is a different one. Alright, so I mean, this fight at any rate is whatever. Charcho's gonna win. This fight at any rate, it looks like it's pretty much over here. Let's check out a couple of these replays, and then we'll check out who else is playing. Oh, it's Grievous. Grievous with walkers? Get the heck out of here, man. I'm not watching that. Alright, let's see who else is fighting. Whatever, dude. Oh, we got Dom and CHN. Did that just start? Yeah, that just started. Let's check them out. Alright, so first thing we like to do is we like to just take a look at the battlefield. So already I'm seeing Dom arcs on the CHN side. Might be a little bit early in the fight for that kind of thing. On some CHN... Oh, okay, never mind. So the Dom arcs are correct. They are doing it because there are CHN arcs on the Dom side with force field up, just disrupting. That's a disruption move. So, based on that, Dom is back here, trying to hit some arcs and just trying to get the attention of the CHN arcs away from supporting these CHN arcs and defending these CHN arcs. It's a very costly tactic, but it's one of the best and quickest maneuvers to apply pressure while your space is being invaded. Alright, let's check out some of these fights, huh? It's like Dom in the scout tower. The left scout tower, pretty strong for a scout tower. Up, and CHN is coming in like right from the beginning, with huge marches. Yup. All right. Should we watch some of this? So right now, what's going on? So right now, CHN is making an aggressive bid for both scout towers. That will give them vision of the Dom arcs, and they'll be able to start hitting arcs and start harassing them in the strongholds. You want to open up vision for your team to the enemy strongholds so that you can move the focus from the scout towers to the enemy strongholds. There's basically, look, there's 3 parts of the map here. Let's just fast forward through this. Because he only had 1 in slots 2 and 3, he wasn't going to win that. Because eventually Tyrant Cometh would proc. Okay, so when the battle starts, the focus is on the scout towers. Over here, and is it under this guy? Yeah, it's freaking under this guy. Right? Oh, he's not moving? What the hell am I talking about? Well, I don't know. This is kind of bugged. Somebody is over it. Okay, whatever. At any rate, the focus is on the 2 scout towers. Then after the scout towers, so the scout towers, they open up visibility on the strongholds. If you could force a team to fight in the strongholds rather than in the scout towers, yeah, here it is. If you could force them to fight in their strongholds, there we go. Rather than these scout towers, then you could get more points and you could keep the focus on the enemy's side with them fighting defensively, and then you could just control the pace of the battle. There's there's multiple ways. If you're a team, there's multiple ways to combat that. An enemy being aggressive. One is when you're on the defense. You have to make sure that you keep a good points ratio to keep the enemy out of your side. Or what you could do is you could start countering them by going ultra aggressive and going to the enemy side, and trying to zero arcs basically. And the more arcs that you send to the enemy side, the cheaper it is for everybody who's back there. It is pretty expensive, so that matters. Oh, well, I think Rookie's going to win this one. Yep. Alright. Man, this guy is just posting every replay, regardless of if he wins or loses. Looks like Domination as a guild seems to have a lot of conventional or tank-based comms. Those comms generally do well against other tanks, or if they're set up properly. If the enemy doesn't have a ton of assault comms, then, it's a very good strategy. In Seraphim, we basically have, no tank comms, and we go all out in assault. So when we see an enemy tank comm, what we do is we don't aim to beat it with one commander. We just one-slot bust it over and over and over again with, between, 3 and 10 people. It costs a little more gold, but you save in the speed-ups because your casualties are much lower. So the question as to who's winning, no one is really winning right now. It's too early to tell. And even if it starts to go a little bit more onto one side or the other, it's just these two guilds are too evenly matched at this point. I will say that Domination is spending more gold on this fight currently. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. And sometimes people will jump to the enemy side and spend the gold on it because they like that content. It is a rush. So when it's a Rogers versus Rogers fight, it's all about who loses a slot first. I think that Tank Rat won, but it's impossible to tell from that. So this is a close to max lead still. It might even be max lead, but this is not the first fight that's going up in. This is probably going to be Rogers. Nope, Stella, nice. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's see what's going on here a little more. See a lot of CHN arcs on fire. Who's their big guy? Domination's big guy is Rookie. Let's see you. Was that USG Shimura from God Chaos? Was that another Anubis? How big is Rookie and Gangaji now? 293 million. Who's Rookie? Maybe he's on the enemy side. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight him here. Man, they're really throwing a lot of points out there, CHN. I guess it doesn't matter. They're, understandably, the way that these fights are won, they're usually by a knockout. That is a scary formation to put in there, dude. If you get hit by another Dragon Slayer, you can lose all that. Now CHN really has no reason to be on the domination side because they have enough targets here. What CHN needs to be doing is they need to be taking back the scout towers. Yeah, that's their issue. What's up with all these full marches? Yeah, domination clearly has more arcs on the field here. The CHN... Oh, okay. I guess they had some vision. Oh, right, because they had a jumper. Of course, this guy just sitting here. Force field on. Oof. Yo, big stacks of T9 are scary. I don't know. I always feel like they're gonna die. Oh, CHN is in Dom's base, but whatever. They've only been there for a minute. It's not a big problem. Trying to find Rookie. I want to know how big he got. Where's Rookie? Alright, let's look through the massive arcs. Let's look through the massive arcs. Gold Digger. Oh, here he is. Okay. This is 1.16 billion. Nice. Yeah, nice, dude. Okay, you're pretty big. Man, why do these guys... So, they all, like, used up their force field. Now that the match is only 4 hours long... You can't use up your force field in the beginning of the fight. You have to wait and use it when it's time. Oh, is this the CHN boss? 1.8 billion? Yeah, this guy, right? I have to find and place commas myself. Yeah, 1.8 billion. That doesn't really mean anything. Once an arc is above, like, 400 million, 500 million, it's the same. It's just about how many backsleep commanders do you have? If Dom has enough arcs, as soon as they just need to gain a little bit more footing, and then they'll be able to. What? Did they lose a stronghold? Was that even before I got here that they lost the stronghold? If I missed that while I was here, I would be bad at this. But it makes... I don't know. Maybe it just happened before I entered. There look to be a lot of arcs on the Dom side that are in the fight but not participating in the fight. And I wonder why that is. I think a lot of the times, what's the hardest thing for any team is the coordination and communication. So a lot of the times when, that's the biggest hurdle. If you could get over the communications piece, then, then you could leverage more of your team's talent. But yeah, I mean, it looks like they have, easily over 60 arcs on the field. They could have their entire guild there for all I know. But I only see, 8 lines right now. Okay, maybe more, right? Because there's stuff coming out of here. Maybe 12 lines. And I don't see anyone moving the fight to their side, really. This is still not an impossible fight by any means. But the issue is that while Domination tries, pretty desperately to even the match by taking one of CHN's strongholds, the entire time this is going on, CHN has access to Domination's base. So Domination is under pressure now to hold two strategic objectives at once. They have to keep the enemy out of their base, and they have to keep the enemy out of one of their strongholds. Whereas all CHN has to do right now is consistently put pressure on this base. Yeah, I don't really see any... I don't know, maybe Domination doesn't see it? Or maybe they're trying to figure out amongst their T12 players what to go for. Yeah, I mean, getting this arc out of there doesn't really matter. Because they have visibility of the thing. So they really just need to... Why can't I click on this? Like, there we go. So what they really need to do is just kind of go full bore at it. The CHN is just fielding less arcs on the field, but the arcs that they do have on the field seem more involved in the plays, and they are effectively deploying these arcs to control territory on the battlefield. You can see these, this much smaller amount of arcs is effectively handling and containing a much larger team here into a smaller area. Wow. That was insane. What? That was nuts. Wow. I'm actually kind of shocked by that. He probably has a lot of dodge, and he didn't build out, the Mysterious Warrior probably had a lot of dodge and probably did not build out any defensive stats. Maybe it's all attack, I don't know. Oh, this is another one. Wow. Did I watch this one? The single T2 in slot 1. Like, that's gonna do better than Hummingbird. Well, Visco, actually, CHN doesn't need to focus on the stronghold because they already opened up Domination's base to attack. As far as Domination, Domination doesn't need to focus on their own base, but they do need to start deploying enough troops to whittle this down. And I just don't see, I don't see Domination arcs really contending with it at all. So maybe their plan is to focus completely on this stronghold, but they're not even in the stronghold yet. So, I would say right now what they should be doing is they should be booting out CHN from their enemy base, if nothing else, to take back some of the tempo of the fighting. Because, that means a lot. This is as much a psychological thing as it is a military thing. You know what I mean? Like, you got to focus on the right things, and if you could start to lower the resolve of your enemy, then, they will give up. What's up, Ragnarok? Ragnarok, you were in the DZG fight. You guys dominated that. Good job. Yeah, this Dragon Slayer just did immense damage there. Nice. Then this guy posted it from the other side. Okay. Everyone's posting the same fight. Oh, this is a different fight. Okay. It's just the same formation. Yeah, I don't know why you put that slot 3 in there. But whatever, they're dead. You know, it doesn't bring back the T-12 that they killed, but they're dead now. So right now, what CHN could be doing, of course, is CHN wants to capture this scout tower. That should be their highest priority. Because they're fine here. The highest priority for CHN should be capturing the scout tower, because then that opens up their capabilities to start hitting all these domination arcs. And exactly what we were talking about earlier about the psychology of the fight, that will do a lot to demoralize domination to force them off the field. Because, I mean, I don't think CHN is capable of winning here in the main base. It's just the question of when domination starts to deploy their arcs against some of those armies. Ooh, those are big T10 armies that are going to die. Yup. They should pull. Yep, now CHN in the scout tower. Now they should stack up in that scout tower and just fill it out, even with single ranger marches. CHN should be there and needs to hold that base. Even if they put 6, all that they need to do is stack 4 more single ranger marches, and then at that point, CHN will win visibility once the 60 seconds elapse. 30 seconds left. Yeah, they need to be rushing in marches right now, and they're just not. I don't know why they're not. Again, you know, to me, this looks like a communication issue on their side as well. I think that this is an issue a lot of teams have, where whatever needs to happen, if not someone calling it and getting that message out effectively, it could be very difficult for the team to rally around it. And yeah, Domination switched it up. They got the scout tower with, I think, like 1 second or 2 seconds to go, and it's because this guy is slow rolling in when he should have sped it in there. He would have gotten much more if he sped it in there. He would have gained access for his whole guild to start hitting these domination arcs, which is what they want. Yep. So I think more arcs have realized that this is right now the focal point of the match. Even though this looks like an uphill fight for Domination, it is not over yet. You know, Domination could absolutely turn this around. Just like it's my opinion that Winter Soldiers could have turned around their fight against DZG as well. You know, so much of this is about how people feel and the morale and the communication, which is it's amazing. It's sometimes it feels like it's more a psychological thing than it is about actually what assets are on each side. Looks like Rookie has caught wind of what's going on in the base and starting to focus on that. Didn't really get a hit against that Hancock, though. Hancock is brutal. I've been talking with some people, and we've been putting together an anti-Hancock build. It's, you know, just like Dragon Slayer needed its own build to combat it, and that was something that a few of us at Seraphim worked on for some months in order to perfect that. once we got that down, we've been deploying it effectively and wrecking Dragon Slayers. But just the same way, Hancock needs its own build to go up against Hancock. You need your own build. It's a utility build, specially made for it. The biggest issue, there's two issues with going up against Hancock. Your two big issues, of course, are going to be, number one, you need to find a way as quickly as possible to get around Feral Instinct, which is the buff skill. And then secondly, you need to do damage quickly before Hancock can use Feral Strike, or is it Feral Strength? I don't know. You need to do enough damage quickly before Hancock procs his skill that lowers your defense. Yes, Stella is good against Hancock because Stella does multiple rounds of damage, so she could get around the shield, and she does damage quickly, so she could end the fight before he procs Feral Strength a lot. However, if Stella doesn't do it quickly, she'll die like the rest of them. And in my opinion, the way to beat Hancock with Stella, you can go full damage, but you're going to take some losses. But there's a tank build that you can use with Stella, and just really stack up on some of the gem sets that screw with the other party. So you use like disable gem sets like Virgo. And Ares and things like that. Yeah, CHN is making a full bid here. It looks like Dom is quitting the field. We got the congratulations CHN from Rookie, who is Domination's big player. So I would say that what we've seen here tonight is, this is interesting. What we've seen here tonight is two fights by probably the top two Western guilds, and unfortunately, in both situations, it was the same, where the Eastern guilds or the Chinese guilds were just able to effectively contain the Western guilds. It looked like there might have been some better lines of communication open on the Eastern side, and they were just able with in this fight with fewer arcs to fight effectively. Whereas with Winter Soldiers against DZG just dominated them with more arcs. Thanks for joining me here tonight. Enjoy the rest of the anniversary event, and hope you're all safe and healthy and nobody has coronavirus. Good luck to these teams in the rest of the season. This is by no means the end of the season. We still got a few weeks left to go. All of these teams are, real top tier teams, so we're going to see them again in playoffs, definitely. Peace.